Okay, hello everyone. I just want to make sure everyone can hear me okay, and if the music in the background is too loud, if anybody could just type a little message and say it sounds like it's okay. That would be helpful for me. Thank you, Sheila. Okay, all right. So I'm just gonna, I know a lot of people are gonna be coming in, and hopefully if you have to come in or drop off, don't worry. This whole session, and I'll probably really repeat this a little bit later too, is the message, am I too loud or the sound? The music? I'll just turn it up a little bit. Okay, is that better? Okay. So, well, I'll just tell you about the music, because the music is centered around a frequency that's called a 528 hertz sequence frequency. And so what that means is it actually attunes to your heart chakra, and it's a very healing and calming music. So it's just a steady frequency of 528. There are frequencies that go with each of your chakras. I just chose this one because I wanted us to have a really chill out meditation session. So like I said from the beginning, the sessions are small little intricate things that I've done a lot of research on. And so anytime that we go through the sessions, if you feel like something doesn't resonate with you, or you think it's a little wacky or something like that, that's okay. You don't feel like you have to participate in every segment, but all the research that I've done, and this has been 10 years in the working, I've pulled from these ancient texts of meditation, and we're talking from all around the world. I've looked at shamanism. I've looked at, I've looked at obviously yoga. Those are the texts that have the most detailed information about everything you can possibly think about with meditation. Taoism, I've done Reiki work. I've done a lot of work with indigenous religions and ancient things that I find things resonate with me. And then I don't incorporate anything in what I'm doing until I have another source of information that resonates with me. And I'm like, wow, this must be, if American Indians aren't doing it, and then the Buddhists are doing it, there must be something to it. And so I start learning and kind of practicing with it, and then I find what kind of resonated with me as a very kind of even chill meditation process that I've actually fallen in love with. I do it pretty much every day, and obviously working with friends and family, and I'm just starting this kind of spiritual coaching thing. So just kind of go along with me, be kind, because this is all new to me, being a teacher as well as a practitioner. And so my name that I'm doing this under is called Jai Shanti, and it means victoriously fearless. The meaning behind that is that in society, especially in times where we're dealing with not only ourselves but other people, it's very hard to be your true center. And so that's what resonates with me, is that I'm true to my true center, and I'm victoriously fearless in that. And so today, when we go through this meditation process, it's probably unlike anything you've had before, and that's okay. A lot of meditation work is reciting certain sounds or words, or it's actually just somebody softly talking to you. And those are all great meditations. This one is designed to actually release any of your internal emotion. I call them your feels, whatever feelings that you're going on with today, to recognize them, release them, and then fulfill them with what really is better in our greatest good. So again, as we go through the practice, if anything doesn't resonate with you, if you feel like, just know that we'll move on from it. And again, I'm not a doctor, so if you feel like anything's uncomfortable in any way, that's fine. Just, take a breath, and if you want to feel like you want to pick back in, then go ahead and pick back in. So right now, as we're getting started, I'd like everybody just in the chat session, just so chat 1 to less than a sentence of how you're feeling today, and then and no, nothing impacts anybody else, but if you could share it, like if you feel a little anxious, a little tired, or maybe you feel like the world is on your shoulders, or you feel a little jittery, or you even feel hungry. If anybody could just type in a couple of the things, I want to recognize that through the process as we go along. And so as we go along, just make sure that you're comfortable where you're sitting. And it's important to have a straight spine, and that's fine to like lay down if it works for you. They just say don't lay down in meditation because you might fall asleep and then you miss it. As we get going, most of this will be guided. Some of it will be sound related, and the frequencies of the sounds are what's important. Not necessarily like, we're not singing together at the chorus tune, but that it's a sound that we're resonating together. And anytime you feel like you need to pop off and you feel like, no worries, and you can always come back if you feel like that resonates with you. Okay, so I'm going to move on. Okay, all right. So some people are anxious. I see stressed, overwhelmed, tired. This is totally new for me, which that's fine too. And that's okay. Those are all great things. And so many times, I don't know if any of you have taken yoga practices, but the teacher will often start in saying, set your attention, right? So setting our intention at this point, recognizing that a lot of people have got a lot going on, and it's difficult for the body to maintain this type of stance for quite some time. So just maybe recognize the intention that you want to release that. Or maybe you want to just say, I'm just thankful I'm trying something new and taking time for myself, which is absolutely significantly important. As we go on through the meditation, just know that if there's time that you want to ask a question, I will be looking at the chat, and I'll, at the end of the session, the little segments, I'll look at the questions and I'd be happy to answer anything. I probably won't go into a lot of deep detail, but I would be happy to like further explain. And if anybody wants to put anything like how they're feeling, this is energy work within you to help cleanse out and heal and kind of rejuvenate yourself. So I'll go ahead and start now. And I often start with what I call a prayer, and I don't mean to trigger anybody with religion, and I use the term creator, but this creator could be God, it could be Buddha, it could be anything. Source is what some terms use, but here we go. The light of the creator surrounds us. The love of the creator enfolds us. The power of the creator protects us, and the spirit of the creator watches over us. Wherever we are, creator is, and so be it. Namaste. Namaste and welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Just so if anybody just joined, I've asked people to put in the comments anything that they have that they would like to say how they're feeling today, and kind of realize that that is possibly their intention today to release, or maybe it's just you're excited for the experience. So in doing that, it's the yogi perspective of acknowledging the present moment. So we tend to build up a sizable chest of what happens in the past, sometimes judging it, labeling it with our anxieties. And then sometimes we get wrapped up within the future and planning out what's going to happen next. What's my next meeting? When's my next, meal? So this is the time that we focus to be in the here and the now. So we start with the meditation with a mantra, and I'm going to explain real quickly about what a mantra is. And mantra are words that are sound of, it's a vibrational power that is best recited repeatedly to aid in the cultivating of focus, insight, and connection. And this one that I'm doing to start this session off is called the Aldi Mandra. And we're going to do this 3 times. And it is a yogi tradition. And so I will say it first, and then I'll say it together, let's say it 3 times. And the meaning of this is, I bow to the infinite, I bow to the teacher within. And it goes like this. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Now repeat with me. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. And that starts our session. So on to another form that a lot of the Asian cultures use, and it's the Om sound. And many of you have heard the rolling Oms, perhaps starting in a yoga class. And the Om stands for the body. And the second one is Ah for the speech. And that's Ah is AH, and the Om is OM. And then there's another term called Hum, HUM, which is for the mind. And they represent the transformative blessings of the body, speech, and mind. Oftentimes when we go about our day, the mind controls pretty much 80 to 90% of what we're doing until like we stub a toe and then the body steps up. So externally, the Om purifies all negative actions committed through the body. The Om is through your speech, and the Hum is through your mind. So I will do the first Om, just so you understand what the Om is. And they call this the rolling Om. So I will do it once, and then you will join me on the second one, and we'll do that 3 times. And then I'll immediately follow with the Ah and then the Hum. Okay, here we go. Om. 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 Ah. 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 Hum. 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 Wonderful. So now the next session is our breath work. And I'll be quite honest, some of the breath work, I always thought this is kind of silly, I don't understand why we're really doing it. But more that I learned about it was the more that I found that it's super empowering. So just like in acupuncture, how we have these meridians within our bodies, when you start the breath work and there's very different kinds, you energize those points within your body, and that helps just release what does not belong there. So like if you ever felt like you had things that like could be even a shoulder that just hurts, or maybe some pain in the side or something like that, the life force is what helps that. Some people call it prana, or it's also called Qi. It's just if it stays in one place, it kind of gets stagnant. So you want to move it around. And the breath work is essential for that. A lot of the times the yogis will say breath is life. So, and obviously that is true from a medical perspective, but it's also like keeping the life force within you. And so I'd like to start with alternate nostril breathing. And this is a very simple yet powerful technique. It settles the mind, body, and emotions. It helps in quieting the mind, and it actually clears out the circulation. And so in starting this, what you do is you place your index and your middle finger on your third eye. You leave open your thumb and your ring finger open to each side of the nostrils. And with this, what we do is we close one side. Use your ring finger to close the side. And let's breathe in all the way up, fill all the air all the way up into the lungs, and then slowly release. And then we'll do that we'll do this for about, probably I would say about 11 times. And then closing on the next breath, we close the other side of the nose. So it's just simply just closing out. So we're breathing in one side and breathing out the other. And what this is a meridian from your big toes all the way up to your nostrils are being activated through this. It's a very calming, it's very, and if you feel like you ever get lightheaded, just stop and join us after we finish together. So again, closing with the ring finger, we'll breathe all the way in, hold, and then release. I like to release through the mouth, but you can release through the nose. Breathe in, hold, and release. 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 Okay, so hopefully everyone feels a little energy within them. Energy is kind of, sometimes people may like think it's maybe you're getting a little dizzy, but it's really just the fluid movement into, and for me, I can feel the energy from my toes, tingling in my toes. I can feel it in my fingertips. But I can just kind of feel like I have this expansiveness about myself. And so if you're feeling those things, just know that that's the intention of the energy work. But if you're feeling a little like, oh, you need to take a breath and like, you know, take a side step, that's fine, totally fine. Okay, so we'll move on to the next breathing technique. And this is what we call deep shallow breaths or infinity breath. And we're just going to do 5 of these because these are very energetic, and I don't want to overwhelm us, but like a lot of times when people do infinity breath, they do it for a period of 11 of them. They do 11 minutes of them, or like up to 36 is those are like things you got to work up to. But for us in this segment, I just like to do 5. But if you ever get triggered when you're in a situation, these deep shallow breaths are really helpful in just kind of bringing you back to center. So, and I want to explain real quickly about infinity breath. So infinity is the circle like an 8. And so imagining like the breath of the air, if you could like, I know it's in between your stomach and your lungs, but if you could figure how like you're breathing it in and then it circles backs up and it comes back around, goes back down, and you're almost like a wave. Like it's just a wave of energy breath coming through you. And in this one, you're welcome to use hand. These are mudras where you have, I typically use the index and the third finger holding with the thumb. And just briefly about that, everybody's different because we have dominant, some of us are left-handed, right hand, but usually the index finger is positive, the middle finger is negative, and the thumb is neutral. So when you're, again, thinking of your body as a meridian, you're closing in your energies. You're not releasing anything during this process. So again, with a deep breath, let's breathe in just like we did at the other breaths. And we'll do this 5 times. Okay. So breathe in, hold up, and release out the mouth. Breathe in, hold up, and release, just like a wave. Breathe in, hold up, and release. Breathe in, hold, and release. And one more time, breathe in, hold up, and release. Okay. So that is the end of our energy work. And mind you, these are things that you can incorporate during your day when you have just 2 minutes and you think you need it. These are things that you're welcome to do on your own. The next session is called, what I like to call cleansing the mind. And this is from Reiki work. Reiki work is where a lot of people will use energy and they will move the energy. The practitioner will move it for the student. But these are in terms of words. And then you yourself are now becoming that person removing it. So I'm going to say a set of words that are centered around emotions. And every of the words start with, I release all forms of, and then I'll say 2 normally negative energy words. And so what you're doing is you're releasing it. And all I want you to do is take your hand and wipe it over your head, almost like you're releasing it out of yourself, almost like you're taking off a hood. You're taking off this hood of this negative energy. So again, I'll say it first and then we'll collectively set it together. And we're just saying a few of these. I release all forms of abandonment and insecurity. I release all forms of abandonment and insecurity. I release all forms of anxiety and failure. I release all forms of anxiety and failure. I release all forms of sorrow and grief. I release all forms of sorrow and grief. I release all forms of anger and frustrations. I release all forms of anger and frustrations. I release all forms of fear and conflict. I release all forms of fear and conflict. I release all forms of jealousy and shame. I release all forms of jealousy and shame. Okay, so hopefully that was good for everyone. Okay, so let's just take a deep breath and breathe in and release. Okay, so now we're going to move into the chakras. And I have to tell you, I always thought the chakras were just about the yogis, and what I found, that's not necessarily true. And the more I've learned about chakras, how they relate to so much. Certain chakras are related to planets, even to frequencies, to light color. They're also the 4 elements, or the 5 elements rather. And they're also formulated, with fire, water, heat, ether. So there's a lot going on with chakras that I knew that was with yoga, but I also found them in the other cultures. When we talk about the shamanism and Father Sky and Mother Earth and Raw Sun, they all talk through these as similar into their bodies. So I just found it fascinating. In Taoism, they also talk about the Dantian, which is the middle, and that's your solar plexus. And so it's all related, which is what I've always found fascinating, why I've been drawn to this type of work. So this is the real part of imagination. So I have a difficult time with my imagination in the sense that, I can. So I'm gonna bring up things that make me feel as close as possible, that works for me on how to imagine this. And if you think of something different that's probably more creative and more relating to you, I say use it. Okay, so there's no right or wrong in this. It's just about our intention in setting the right direction. Okay, so cleansing the chakras, we're going to start down with the root chakra and work up. And we're also going to incorporate the fire, the earth signs, the fire signs, and the sky signs. So it's a little intricate. So just try and do your best with your imaginations. To my right here, I think you can kind of see I've got some crystals and a candle going. So anytime you like, oh, my imagination's, out the window, go ahead and look over in this direction and maybe kind of recreate it to yourself. So go ahead and close your eyes. And if you want, you can put your hands together in your mudra with your index and middle finger and thumb together. And just relax the body. And so I'm going to ask, so closing the eyes and turning on your imagination. I want you to believe that you're standing outside and you're looking at the sun, and it's a safe way to look at the sun. So you're not in any harm, it's not hurting your eyes, but you see that bright, fierce spear. And it's just sitting there glowing and burning and just magnificent in its stature. And so I want you to think about that sun and bring it down. Bring it down like a spear of beautiful light white, and bring it in front of you. And it's so large that you can actually step into it. So imagine right now that you are stepped inside this beautiful spear of light, and it's not hot. It's a calming, beautiful, resonating light, and it sparkles within, and it's just intense, and it just makes you feel wonderful. So in this spear, I want you to take the spear and now imagine it getting smaller and smaller. And you're stepping out of it, and the spear is in front of you. And I want you now to release it, and you're welcome to use your hands and release the mudra. And I want you to push the spear into the earth. And we call this your grounding with Mother Earth. And just feel that for a second. And hopefully that feels really good for you. Now I want you to take the spear and bring it back up in front of you, holding the light. You may use the mudra if you like, with the index and the middle finger and the thumb together, or you can simply hold it like it's a light that you're able to hold between your hands. Now I want the spear, I want you to place it on your root chakra. Your root chakra is located at the base of the spine. And this time we're going to take this spear of light and turn it to a brilliant red. So you see it, and I would like you to repeat after me. I will say the words first, and then you'll repeat them after me. I am safe, secure, and stable. I am safe, secure, and stable. I am grounded and full of life. I am grounded and full of life. This is my connection with Mother Earth. This is my connection with Mother Earth. Now, everyone take a deep breath. And as you breathe in, say, I breathe in the light, and I release love. And we will move on to the Sacral Chakra. Now, taking this red spear of light and moving it forward, just located above the navel, I want you to turn your chakra to orange and repeat after me. I am mindful, passionate, and love my body. I am mindful, passionate, and love my body. I connect myself through the element of water. I connect myself through the element of water. Now breathe in the light and release the love. Breathe in the light, release the love. Now we'll move on to the solar plexus. The solar plexus is located just below the chest, and it is yellow. Holding the light, we turn it to a beautiful yellow. And in this, repeat after me. I have positive self-esteem. I create pleasure and personal responsible for my actions. I repeat, I have positive self-esteem. I create pleasure and personally responsible for my actions. I connect myself through the element of fire. I connect myself through the element of fire. Now breathe in the light and release the love. Breathe in the light, release the love. Okay, moving on to the heart chakra. On the heart chakra, I actually like to put my hands on my heart. So just put your dominant hand on your heart, on your chest, and then your other hand on top. And this time the spear is turning into a beautiful green. And repeat after me. I am lovable, loving, and loved. I am lovable, loving, and loved. I connect myself with the element of air. I connect myself with the element of air. Now breathe in the light and release the love. Breathe in the light, release the love. Wonderful. Just have a few more. We have the throat chakra next. It's located in the center of the neck. So let's take the spear and hold it up to the throat chakra and turn it a beautiful sapphire blue. I speak and communicate clearly and effectively. I speak and communicate clearly and effectively. I connect myself with the element of ether. I connect myself with the element of ether. Now breathe in the light and release the love. Breathe in the light, release the love. Now we move on to the third eye chakra, and it's turned to a beautiful purple, and it's located right here between the eyebrows. And repeat after me. I have immersive creativeness, imagination, insight, and intuition. I have immersive creativeness, imagination, insight, and intuition. I connect myself with the rainbow bridge of the gateway. I connect myself with the rainbow bridge of the gateway. Now breathe in the light and release the love. Breathe in the light, release the love. And our last chakra. This is a very special chakra. It is the crown chakra. They call it magenta, but in reality, it's actually that white light that you imagined from before with a violet flame in the middle of it. So in terms, you can kind of see how they would call it magenta. And it's located right at the top of the head. So again, we're turning the light on and repeat after me. I am connected with my higher consciousness and the divine. I'm connected with my higher consciousness and the divine. I connect myself with the universe. I connect myself with the universe. Now breathe in the light and release the love. Breathe in the light, release the love. Now we're done with all the chakra work, but we still have the sphere of light, right? So we take the sphere of light and let's send it around the world. So take the sphere of light with your imagination and like it's a ball and throw it to your left. Okay, and hold back, go to the right, grab the ball because it's back. So a lot of people don't know this, but when you work with your energy work and you work in meditation and you think from the mind, your aura of energy is about 3 feet around you. If you actually work with your heart energy, it can encompass the entire world. So that was what that exercise is all about. So now that we have this energy ball of love, let's send it back to Mother Earth and we just release it and let it go. And anytime in like any part of your life where you just feel you need to have that oneness, imagine that spirit light and just step into it. Okay. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and type them in. We'll move on to the next session. Again, if you're feeling like this doesn't resonate with you, don't feel like you have to do it. You can just sit there and enjoy this moment. The next one is we want to fill ourselves with positive emotions. And just like we did with the heart chakra, I want you to take your dominant hand and put it on your heart and replace it over on your left hand. And repeat after me. So I'll say it once and then you'll say it with me the second time. I embrace joy and compassion. I embrace joy and compassion. I embrace love and happiness. I embrace love and happiness. I embrace serenity and appreciation. I embrace serenity and appreciation. I embrace empathy and community. I embrace empathy and community. And let's take another deep breath together and release. Wonderful. With the same hands on your heart, we're going to move into a practice called gratitude. Now, this is something that, again, uses your imagination. And so with this, I want you to think of someone or something, it can even be a pet, that you're absolutely grateful for, that you know that you are so thankful that you had them in your life, and gosh, how your life would be totally different. So imagine them in front of you. Go ahead and close your eyes. Imagine them in front of you, and you don't have to speak a word. You just have to look at them, and as if you're telepathically telling them, thank you. Thank you for being in my life. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful. And let's breathe in the light and release the love. And let's hold this and imprint this gratitude upon our hearts. Wonderful. And next, we'll move on to joy. With, again, your hands on your heart, closing your eyes, I want you to close your eyes and think of yourself as a little child. A little young child, maybe running around in a field, on the ocean, in a grassy area, wherever that special place that you feel is just somewhere fun that you can imagine yourself running around. And you don't have to use the real memories. This is a memory of you just being your little inner child running around, laughing and giggling, and just it is just fun to be you, right? No worries in the world. You don't know what you're going to eat, don't care, because right now it's all about you running around. Maybe you're running around in a circle, and maybe you fall down, but you get back up. But you're enjoying yourself. You're just present in this little moment of time and space where you're running around, loving being in the moment. Now let's take this moment and imprint this joy upon our hearts. And we breathe in the light and release the love. Now the next one is a little more difficult. But if you're willing, it's called forgiveness. And again, I want you to keep your eyes closed, and I want you to imagine yourself in front of you as if you're a mirror looking at yourself. And in this forgiveness, we all know that we are so hard on ourselves. We know that we judge ourselves. We know that we want to be the best that we can be, and sometimes we don't get there all the time. So here, I would like you to say to yourself, I forgive you. And if you're willing, because I know this is tough for a lot of people, tell yourself that you forgive them for any thought, deed, or action that was not in your highest good. And I'll repeat that. I forgive myself for any thought, deed, or action that was not in my highest good. Now, release everything and let it go. And repeat after me. I let it go. I let it go. I let it go. And say that at least 3 times. Okay, and opening up the heart space and lifting the hands out, just like your hands are jazz hands, as some people would say. Repeat after me, and we'll say this 3 times. I'll say it first. I am free. I am free. I am free. And let's imprint this on our hearts and breathe in the light and release the love. Wow. So that is the impression of us incorporating joy, gratitude, and forgiveness within our hearts. And so we'll just close right now and do one more infinity breath, because that's sealing our tensions that we've had. So again, we'll just do we'll just do 3 of these. So again, with the infinity sign, or the signal of, or the sign of the 8, breathe in, flow it up, and release. Breathe in, flow it up, and release. One more time, breathe in, flow it up, and release. Okay. So that is the session. So I hope that everybody is feeling totally renewed. But in the comment section, go ahead and put what you're feeling. If you are feeling like, wow, this was great for me, I want to hear those. I want to know that people who felt stressed feel the world lifted off their shoulders. I want to know those kind of things. And I think it helps you to realize that, yes, you just did this in a short amount of time, where sometimes we think we need to go, away to like a yoga retreat for a week to get reset. Good. Tina says she's grounded and relaxed. Great. Okay. I want everyone to know, drink lots of water after this, because a lot of this energy work you can feel in your body. You'll want anything that we wanted to release to be released through water, right? So we just want to kind of cleanse that. And then I just want to end in saying that together today, we collectively shared love, gratitude, joy, compassion, and charity within ourselves. And that was, we go about our day to be mindful that you are taking this now on to your family, your friends, and your coworkers. And that also when that energy is released out, that your friends, your coworkers, and your family will release it out to our communities, and our communities will share it with the world. So this is big work, and it starts with us, right? So thank you so much for joining me during this time. I'm going to stay on if anybody has questions. If anybody would like to shut down and just kind of enjoy this moment, go for it. I think it's really well to do that for yourself, and know that during the day when you need, like if you get triggered by something, go back and breathe in the light, release the love a couple of times with the energy breath, the infinity breath, and you'll feel back to this moment. And just know that, that you can always do that for yourself. So namaste, everyone. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for coming and doing this to yourselves. Thank yourselves for that. I see someone said I could go to sleep. Yeah, it is. It's very nice. It's you can do the energy work that I said on the infinity breath right before you go to bed, and that will help you as much. I'm going to see if there's any questions. It looks like someone said they're pulsing outward. Yeah, that's your energy. Yeah, good for you. That's wonderful. Oh, these are so positive. I'm so grateful for that. Thank you so much. All right, so this session is recorded, so we'll probably post this either on the WICT channel. I also have a channel on YouTube, joshshanti.org, and we'll post that as well. And so that you can always feel like you can come back to this whenever you feel like you need it. All right, let's see, I got one more message here. Yes. Okay. Yeah. If anybody missed it, don't worry. A lot of it was me chatting about me. So like how I learned this. And so it's wonderful that you'd like to see it again. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Everybody have a wonderful, blessed day. Thank you so much. Namaste.